Hi everybody, in this video we will be discussing about the basic operation implementation for doubly linked list using C++. The first operation what we are going to discuss is create node. Already we have discussed that there are three components in the nodes of a doubly linked list. That is data and then address of the previous node and address of the next node. And the objective of the create node function is to dynamically allocate the memory for node, and also we have to check whether it is successfully done. When there will be a failure is if there is no memory available in the heap of the allocated part. That is, operating system will give some memory for each of the program, some memory for stack and some memory for heap and so on. So if that heap is full, then in that case we will not have memory. So you check whether the returned value is null. In that case you have to return null. Otherwise you have to put the data in the data part, make the previous part as null and next part as null, and you have to also return the address of the node created. Next is the create list function. So the input for this will be list, right? The objective of create list function is to initialize the list. When we look at doubly linked list, there are two things that will be property of list. One is the head and other one is tail. So we have to make head and tail both as null. So the list has to come as the input and we have to pass it by address so that the changes whatever we make here will get reflected in the main part also. And then the isEmpty function. In the isEmpty function you will pass the list where you will be checking whether head and tail are null. If both of them are null, we will return true and false otherwise. And then is full, right? When we say is full, we cannot directly check it as a linked list. We do not know when it will become full, when the heap will become full. When the heap allocated for the program becomes full, at that point only our is full is going to be successful. So we cannot have an explicit function. Instead we have to check it during each insertion operation. So let's implement one by one. First we will go and implement the create node function. Yeah. So let us go to the .h file. There is a structure, struct node. Okay, and this is C++. So there is no worry about type defining and so on. First we have to have the data part and then we have to have the previous part and the next part. Okay, and this is the class. We are going to use object-oriented programming for the implementation, and in the private section I am going to have two pointers, one to point to the first node of the list and other one to point to the last node of the list. So they are head and tail. They are going to be in the private section of the class. Okay, and first we will implement the create node function. This create node function is independent of the class. This is a global function, so it is outside. See, we have not used any scope resolution operator, which will take the data as the input. Now we have to create a pointer for new node, and then we have to allocate the memory. How we will allocate memory in C is we have to use new and then node, right? And you have to check whether the returned address is null. Okay, if it is equal to null, then we have to put in braces first. If this is null, then we have to return null. Okay, otherwise we have to make the data part of the new node to be equal to the data which is coming, and new nodes previous, okay, previous is equal to null, and new nodes next is also going to be null. Okay, and also we have to return the address of the new node on successful creation. Right, done. So create node is done hopefully, and next is the create list function. So we are going to use OOP, and already we have declared the head and the tail, and I have to now, instead of create list function explicitly writing, we are going to use the constructor. We are going to use the default constructor for creating it. The basic objective of the create function is to initialize the properties of the list. So when we see here there is a head and a tail, we have to initialize that. So let us do it here. Head equal to tail equal to null. We will initialize here, and then next is the isEmpty operation where we have to return boolean value, right? Okay, so let me declare it here. Bool is empty, right? Only list is expected. Since this is object-oriented programming, we need not pass it explicitly. So you see here we have put it as a member function, and we will check if head equal to null and okay, and tail equal to null. Okay, in this case we have to return true, that is the list is empty. Otherwise we have to return false, indicating that the list is not empty. Fine. Okay, so hopefully it's done. These are all the basic operations. So we create an object for doubly linked list, the class, and then we are calling the isEmpty function here. Since we have initialized in the constructor during the object creation itself, the default constructor would have been invoked, so that would have initialized the head and the tail. We expect isEmpty to print true, that is return true, and it will be printing true. Let's see, let's compile and check. Okay, so since we are having separations of files and we need to compile and link it separately, we have written a shell script as we were doing for a singly linked list. You can refer the code also in the GitHub. I am just using the shell script and I am compiling it, and then I will run it. Now you see that isEmpty returned 1. That is, when we print, it will print the equivalent value. See, Boolean is not a separate data type in C++ also. It is just a morphed data type. Basically it is an integer. It is just morphing and making us comfortable to use with that. So it is printing 1. Okay, so the rest of the operations we will be discussing in the forthcoming videos. Thank you.